तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना धावान् भजते यो माम् ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासूपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे अध्यायः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Summary of the 6th chapter verse by verse. What do we have? We have the 6th chapter opening with Bahiranga Sadhana. Verses 1 to 9, Bahiranga Sadhana, Karma Yoga. This is just to identify in the verse by verse. We have already discussed all this. Bahiranga Sadhana is discussed verses 1 to 9 and also in verses 16 and 17. Then verses 10 to 15 we have the concept of Antaranga Sadhana, introduction to the processing of the internal. What is internal? What is in the heart? What is in the mind? And how to gain Shama, how to gain mastery over the mind is discussed in verses 10 to 15. And then the next topic is from 18 to 30 something. Let me see and tell you. From 18th verse onwards, all the way to 32, or even we can say 36 straight away. 18 to 36, we have meditation. The topic of meditation, how to meditate, and the phala of meditation. The topic of meditation and inner processing, how to stay away from sorrow, how to meditate, and what happens as a result of this meditation, all the way up to 36. How to also remove the pratibandhas, means impediments in meditation. That also is given 36. And then from 37 to about second last topic, from 37 to about 44, we have the topic of Yoga Bhrashta. Who is Yoga Bhrashta? Who is neither a Karma Yogi nor a Jnani, did not do enough effort, and therefore what happens, what is the Gati? What happens to such a person after the body falls is discussed. And so we saw yesterday in that vein how the person's life and whatever the person studies is not at all wasted. Why is it not wasted? It's not wasted because pick up the thread. This is true in any body of knowledge, but most of all here. Because otherwise it won't explain. These samskaras continue. Vasanas continue. Otherwise, how did 9-month-old Mozart, before he could talk, before he could walk, composed his first tune? How did that happen? Who taught him? Nobody. That shows that there is some connection from the past. This is what is said in the Brahma Sutra, that this connection is there in all Aparavidya also. What to talk about if you have studied Paravidya? Of course it will be there. Paravidya not being separate from you, that connection will take you to Shuchinam Srimatam Gehe. In a clean house. Clean house means internally clean, externally clean also, where the parents are free of their own clutter, not a heavy and unconscious, and not a lot of conflict growing up, and grows up in a way that is a straight entry into Atmajnanam, gains the Guru also without difficulty. All this happens. So meaning what? When we see people like Ramana Maharshi, Bhagavan Ramana, who apparently just without any effort could leave the house at age 17 and just go off somewhere, and that all is why? Because the Karma Yoga was done in the previous lives. It had already been done. Everything had been done, it was primed, and now all that was left to do with this body was to gain this knowledge. And so Karma Yoga cannot be bypassed, because it is in this life or in Asmin Janmani, this life, or in other lives, Janmantare Va. So this, so the effects of this yoga, Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, all this is there, even life after life it is there, and then it protects one from being born in other yonis. Yonis means other birth canals, like Andaja, hatched, means what? Bird or reptiles, they are hatched. Shvetaja means born of moisture. Like you put some rice in a container, forget about it, especially in a tropical climate. 4-5 months later, what is there? All kinds of beings are there. How did they get there? They are born of moisture, Svetaja. And then Jarayuja, mammals, born directly of the mother. And then what else is there? Udbhija. Bhumim udbhidya jayante udbhijaha. Plants that break open the earth and come out. These are the 4 general categories of birth. And what do we want for this? We want a human birth for this, and so for this gain of this knowledge, because no other animal life, in no other animal life or plant life, this knowledge can be gained. So if Vedanta is a strong desire, then this will definitely happen. So along with the conclusion of the verse of the 6th chapter, there is a completion of Tvam Pada Vichara, an inquiry into the word I. So Tat Tvam Asi. This is how the Gita is, the six chapters, it is divided. So Tat Pada Vichara we are going to enter. Tvam Pada Vichara has just been concluded. And then Asi Pada Vichara verses 13 to 18, the last 6. Asi means how to embody this knowledge, how to live this knowledge, all that is given in the last 6 verses of the chapter, last 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita. So now we will see 2 things. One is a drastic subject change, topic change we will see. It is palpable from the first verse of the 7th chapter. And the second thing we will see is Lord Krishna referring to himself as Aham, Mama, Mam, me, in the first person. So up till now that first person was not there. In fact, the first person is there in the last chapter of the last verse of the 6th chapter, which becomes a segue to this chapter. So let us go with that, because that's a very good connection here. So let us look at that. We saw that yesterday briefly, but let us look at that again. Yoginam api sarvesham. Out of all the yogis, then madgatena antaratmana, the one who contemplates upon me, madgatena, and then shraddhavan bhajate, yah mam bhajate, sa me yuktatamaha. So like this, the aham is there in all the cases. In the asmad shabda means the I word is used in the 47th verse. And even though if you look at the 6th chapter as a whole, the 47th verse kind of hangs out without much to do with the rest of the topics. But it's an important description of the yogi. All the other descriptions are how well the yogi manages the mind, because it's an internal practice, dhyana, and how well the yogi is to be considered superior. A life of meditation is superior to all other lives. But then suddenly we find the 47th verse. It could have as well ended in the 46th verse. Karmibhyascha adhiko yogi tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. Hey Arjuna, become a yogi. Finished. That would have been a much cleaner, gift-wrapped ending to chapter 6. But suddenly we find chapter 7 spilling into chapter 6, because that sangati or the connection is very important, because this is the connecting thread. The other definition of the yogi is given here. Who is this yogi? Not a good meditator, not the one whose all his or her issues are resolved, not the one who is a good karma yogi and a dhyana yogi, but in addition to all this, the one who is committed to me. Antaratmana madgatena antaratmana. So the antaratman means the antahkarana here is resolved in me. Madgatena. In me means what? Not Krishna. Some people had, think of it like that. It means only Krishna. No. Here it means Bhagavan, Ishvara. It means Bhagavan. In me, who is Bhagavan, Ishvara, the one who is surrendered. Surrendered to me, in me, whose mind, whose antahkarana is myself alone. And so the same thing will be repeated in the first verse of chapter 7. And so here, the topic of Ishvara as Lord Krishna declaring himself to be Ishvara is already started here. It started here, and then it will only continue. And so the 7th chapter is going to talk about who this. So two questions arise from the last verse of the 6th chapter, we can say. The first question is, who is this Lord Krishna, who is declaring himself aham, aham, mama, mama, mam, mam? Who is this? Who is this Lord Krishna? And second is, what do I get by surrendering to this Lord, whoever that Lord is? And if I surrender to something other than me in life, what have I got? Disappointment. Surrender means it implies trust. Without trust, I can't surrender. If I don't trust somebody, how can I surrender to them? And then, so what have I done here? So, here in my life, I have surrendered to many things. I have surrendered to people. And what have they done? Disappointed me. I have surrendered to pursuits. Okay, I'm going to fully commit myself to this job. What did I get? What happened? I got thrown out. What did I get? I got thrown out of the job. Why? Because somebody more qualified came, and then I was made redundant. And then surrender means what? There is trust, surrender to a pursuit, surrender to a person, surrender to an object. Sometimes people are very surrendered to certain things in their house. Like When I went with Pujya Swamiji for lunch, for bhiksha, bhiksha is a fancy way of saying lunch, okay, that's all. So when I went with Pujya Swamiji for lunch to somebody's house, the lady of the house suddenly came. We were a few minutes early because you cannot really plan, especially on Indian roads. And so the lady of the house suddenly came and said, wait, please don't come inside. So I thought, oh, they are going to bring a big plate of water to wash Swamiji's feet, or they are going to bring garlands, they are going to, chant something. They are going to bring this ceremonial welcome to the Swami, which is in the form of a pot. A pot is offered, Purna Kumbha it is called. So that is what I thought. We just surprised them, we came early, so they are making these preparations. But I was wrong. Why? 2 people came, 2 of the employees came, big house, and 2 employees came, and then they rolled up the carpet. Right in front in the living area, not even the living area, in the waiting area, there was a big carpet as big as this, and that got very nicely, carefully rolled up and put away. And then the lady smilingly came and said, please come inside now. Then, being very curious, Pujya Swamiji said, what was that all about? I said, Swamiji, I don't know. I don't know why. Usually when important people come, the carpet is rolled out. And here it's the opposite, the carpet is rolled up. I have no idea what's happening, Swamiji. So Swamiji directly asked, why this carpet? No, Swamiji, the lady said very seriously, the morning sun comes right on the carpet and it fades this very important Persian carpet. And we can't have this carpet faded because it is worth hundreds and thousands of rupees. You won't even know how much it is worth. I'm not even going to tell you, Swamiji, but it is very costly carpet. And I have a special solution for cleaning. I have special way of not, from 11 to 4, it is not displayed. And then after that also there are special instructions how to walk on it. No, everybody should walk around it. And nobody should walk on it. So all this is there. And then so what? The whole heart is given to the carpet. Her heart is in the carpet. Even though she's inviting an important sadhu home to her house. And she was very welcoming, delightful person, don't get me wrong, delightful person. But the heart is given to the carpet. And the carpet will definitely disappoint, even if you don't do anything to it, even if you keep it rolled and keep it, treat it like a king, the carpet will fall apart. Anything that is put together falls apart. So what do? We take ashraya in the finite. This is our tendency. But why do we take ashraya? Ashraya, refuge. So we take ashraya in the finite because we don't know the infinite. We confuse the infinite for the finite and we take ashraya in the finite. Then we find out, oh, I have taken refuge in the finite. It's going to disappoint. So what to do? You should get out of that. You should get out of that ashraya. No. That's very difficult. Why? My heart is all given to it. Therefore, what will you do? I will try to make the finite infinite. How will you try to make the finite infinite? By applying a solution to the carpet. She said, I had applied a whole solution, so even if somebody spills hot tea, it will roll off like water off a duck's back. She has put some kind of a plastic whatever it was. It's not lamination, it's some scotch guard. Yeah, that's what it is, some kind of a guard. So there is a guard. So this is all the ways in which, you make the finite into infinite. Same way people put stuff on the face, so that it doesn't deteriorate. And just a different solution is put on the carpet. That's all it is. So the whole heart is given to the person, to a thing, to an object, which by itself is finite. And we make matters worse. As a humanity, we make matters worse. How? By making sure that we try to make that which is antavan, that which is finite, we try to make the antavan into ananta. How is that possible? How can the finite become infinite? We don't understand. And then we don't have a concept of the infinite. Even though one yearns for the infinite, one doesn't have a concept of the infinite. So the infinite gets forgotten in this whole rigmarole of trying to make the finite the infinite. The 7th chapter hopes and is trying its best to correct this state of affairs by introducing Ishvara. Ishvara also needs introduction. When you can invite an important speaker and you can say, this speaker has achieved these situations, this speaker has got the following awards, and this speaker goes all over the world and speaks and is a motivational speaker. Speaker needs introduction. But Bhagavan, who is all known, every religion knows, everybody knows. What kind of an introduction? Finally, the correct introduction. Up till now, what has been given is the wrong introduction. What is the wrong introduction? That Bhagavan is separate from me. Wrong introduction. That Bhagavan is angry at me. Another wrong introduction. Therefore, I have to go to the temple. A lot of people, you ask them, why do you go to the temple? Bhagavan will get angry. Or Bhagavan is already angry. Why? Because I did something wrong and Bhagavan got angry. So I have to take some fruits and coconut to the temple to make up. To make sure I bribe Bhagavan. Bhagavan is waiting for your coconut. If Bhagavan is waiting for your coconut, Bhagavan is a nut. Okay? Yeah. This is really what it is. Bhagavan is not waiting for your coconut. No, I have to go and break a coconut in front of the Bhagavan. And so like this, there is all kinds of fears. In the beginning, the devotion is nothing but bhaya-based. Bhaya-based devotion, and all this 7th chapter will talk about all that. The bhaya-based devotion. What is bhaya in English? Fear. Fear-based devotion. It is all totally fear-based. I am afraid. So if I worship also I am afraid. If I don't worship also I am even more afraid. So better what? Worship. Better worship. And what is this worship? What does this worship mean to you? No, I see other people, what are they doing? They are taking a bag of coconut, flour and incense. So I am also going to take a packet of incense. Why? Because Bhagavan is incensed. That's why I am going to take a packet of incense to make up. And then like this, another misunderstanding. And the third misunderstanding is that there is, the Bhagavan is somebody who is all powerful, who is all knowledge, and who can direct my life. And even though this may be true, but still, who can direct my life? Up till here it's okay. But then, because of this, I have to be on the good side of Bhagavan. Meaning what? I enter into a partnership with Bhagavan, Bhagavati, God, Goddess, and then what? Tell, this is what I want. Look, I am told, and then we humanize Bhagavan with the hope that the Shastra itself humanizes Bhagavan, especially Puranas and all, with the hope that one will learn to pray, and then that becomes the learning to pray, the puja, etc. The understanding of Bhagavan as separate from me becomes a launching pad to understand Bhagavan as non-separate from me. This is supposed to be an interim process. But what have we made it into? A permanent reality. And so therefore what? I have to, so Bhagavan is just like me. What does Vishnu like? You can Google this, not now, don't do it on my time, okay? Do it on your time. So, what are the favorite foodstuffs of Vishnu? You will get a list. What are the things Shiva likes? You get the list. What are the things, this is very easy to answer. What is it Ganesha likes? Yeah, and any sweet round things. Why? Because he's also sweet, he's also round. Like attracts like. So therefore, this way what? I have to bring something sweet and I have to bring something round. Why? Because when I offer that, then what will happen? Ganesha will feel thrilled and Ganesha will jump up and down, and then Ganesha will say, okay, why have you come? What do you want? I want to pass my exams. Ganesha won't ask, have you studied first? Okay? No, Ganesha will simply say, Tathastu. Why will Ganesha say Tathastu? Because the sweet round things. The sweet round things make him say sweet round things from the mouth. Sweet round blessings will come. Blessings of Purnatvam, Purnata will come from his mouth, and then I will pass my exams. Sometimes the supplicant will not go. Sometimes the parents will go, because the supplicant will say, I am not entering any temple. Where is this God? There is no God. What is this God? So the parents will say, don't worry, we will do a proxy visit on your behalf. You don't go, we will go. And so some extra modaks, extra laddus are taken and said, you know what, this is just a appetizer. You make my son or daughter passing the exams, and I will give you not only some more laddus, 108 I will bring. Why couldn't you bring now? Because this is just a little, what is that, advance. Yeah, this is an advance. After that the whole thing will come. This is just a small advance to show you that I am true to my word. I have just brought 4 or 5 now. 108 will come when you pass my child. And what is this child? The child is an adult, of course, but for the parents it's always a child. So this child who hasn't studied at all, please do the impossible and make them pass the exam. This is the kind of Bhagavan we know. This is the kind of Bhagavan we are questioning all the time. And then it's not any better in other religions also. We start by looking at the limitations in our own tradition. And if we go to other traditions also, same thing. Same thing is there. In Catholicism, same thing. Everywhere, same thing. God is loving, but be careful. God is all loving, but be careful. Why? Because there is such a thing called Judgment Day. And then you will be judged. And you will permanently burn in hell. What will burn, they are not clear, because the body is already dropped. But then what is it that is subject to fire? We don't know. But anyhow, you will burn in hell forever and ever. These kinds of things, even other religions are not exempt from the wrong understanding of Ishvara as a separate entity. And this separation is what causes anxiety. That's why it is called separation anxiety. And because of this separation, there is suffering. Why? Because like a river that unerringly flows to the ocean. Even if there is a mountain, it will go around it. Even if you dam it, it will become rivulets and go forward. So, the river knows its destination is the ocean, and no matter what kind of a block you put, it will find its way. Similarly, for the human being, the destination is to know myself as non-separate from Ishvara, and that is where the yearning is. And if the yearning is properly directed, properly channelized, it will definitely find its way. Otherwise, the yearning scatters into yearning for the finite, and I become infinitely addicted to the finite. This is what happens. And this ma abhut means let this not happen to Arjuna. Therefore, Lord Krishna introduces himself differently than the modak loving. No, Lord Krishna doesn't love modaks. Then the yellow clothes loving, Radha loving, and then flute loving Lord. This is all the attributes. So the attributes can keep changing. We are not interested in that which is changing, because when you surrender to that which is changing, what happens is disappointment, disenchantment, depression, dejection, etc. So the 7th verse, the clue for the 7th verse is already there in the 47th, the clue for the 7th chapter is there in the 47th verse, and then it will be taken up again. Om atha saptamodhyayah Shri Bhagavanuvacha Maya saktamanah partha Yogan yunjanmadashrayah Asamshayam samagram mam Yatha jñāsyasi tachrinu. So, here in the very first verse of the 7th chapter, the Lord makes it clear that this yoga is not an end in itself. Which yoga? Dhyana yoga that was taught in the last chapter is not an end in itself. It is a means to come to me. It is a means to obtain me as what? As non-separate than yourself. It is a means to come to me. Okay? It's a means to come to me, and then so the yogam yunjan. Yunjan means having taken to a life of yoga. Yunjan, taking, at present continuous, taking to a life of yoga, karma yoga, dhyana yoga, both of them. Then what is that? Be the one who has a mind committed to me. So, the taking to a life of karma yoga and jnana yoga, how does it culminate? You become one whose mind is committed. Mayi asakta manaha. Mayi asakta manas. So, mayi asakta manaha. So, the one whose mind is asakta means addicted, really. Addicted to me. So, what happens to all the other addictions? All the other addictions are channelized into one addiction, the addiction to Bhagavan. Oh, but that's also an addiction. I'll be keeping on saying Bhagavan, Bhagavan I'll have. If I don't have Bhagavan, then I'll have, just like the alcoholic, withdrawal symptoms. So, alcoholic, if he is not given alcohol, what happens to him? He starts to shake, he starts to get agitated, restless, heart rate goes up, all these things happen. So, will I not? If I become a Bhagavan addict, then when Bhagavan is not there, then what will happen? I will have withdrawal. Withdrawal symptoms. No. Why? Because there is no time, no place that Bhagavan is not. And secondly, this Bhagavan is you. This Bhagavan is not separate from you. So the addiction to Bhagavan means cultivating an addiction to Bhagavan is cultivating an addiction to the truth of yourself. That is the commitment here. And how does this addiction take place? The addiction slowly, drops from all other things. You don't even have to give it up. It drops. All the things that one was doing before one came to Vedanta, all the things that one found interesting, slowly doesn't become interesting anymore. Even if you are exposed to the very things that you enjoyed before, you find that you no longer enjoy it as much as Vedanta Shravanam, as much as Mananam, Nididhyasanam. You don't enjoy it as much. You don't enjoy it as much. Why? Not because the taste has changed. Taste has it's nothing to do with taste. Because Brahman, Ishvara, is not one more thing in the universe to pursue. Okay, now I'm out of ice cream, now I'm into Bhagavan, now I'm out of Bhagavan, now I'm back to chocolate cake. It's not like that. Bhagavan is not one more thing. Bhagavan is the thing because of which all things exist. And this has to be understood. So if When I focus the mind on Bhagavan, knowing Bhagavan as the truth of myself, the other pursuits naturally drop. And that happens. Once a person told me, you know what, after studying Vedanta, now I'm not so much interested in many things. Like I used to have a lot of wanderlust. Wanderlust means go here, go there, where should I go, what should I do, that kind of a feeling. I used to like to watch this, I used to like to write the blog, I used to do all these things. Now I don't feel like doing anything at all. I said, that is good, right? Because the person was looking a little dejected. I said, that's a good thing, right? Well, I'm not that interested in Vedanta either. Ubhaya Bhrashta, both ways. So, I told her, this is just a phase. This is just a phase, the clearing and the dropping, the phase of self-growth, where the clearing and dropping has preceded the taking on of what should replace that. It will come. It will come. It's a phase. But what do? We don't trust this phase. We empty, when something feels empty, we quickly fill it up with other things so that we don't have to think about it. So this should be desisted. And it's not even so much, Vairagya is not so much consciously giving up things, but it is more growing out of things. There is a difference. There is a difference in forcibly giving up, because there the will is involved, and the same will which gave it up, like a child will give away its toy in a moment of happiness. Here, this is for you, it will give to another child. 2 minutes later, what will it do? Mine. Give it back. And the other child starts to cry, you gave it to me, no, now it's mine. This is what will happen if you try to drop, you will take it back, because the will is involved here. So if the will is channelized not to trying to drop things in life, but to seeing where I should focus, where should I put my focus, on inner cleansing, on being able to relate easily with people and situation and things, that is where if I put my focus, then what happens? Something utterly different happens. Things which are I am holding, or rather things which are holding me, that's a better things, they go away. They start to drop. They start to drop. And when they start to drop, then there is growth. So here also, then that empty space is replaced by the love for this knowledge. The empty space is replaced by the pursuit of Ishvara. So then this is what it is. Mai asakta manaha partha. How do you become the one that is committed to me and surrendered to me? What happens? How do you become that? Yunjan. Yogam yunjan. Yogam yunjan. Taking to a life of karma yoga, taking to a life of meditation, which in other words is taking to a life of antahkarana shuddhi, inner cleansing, and antahkarana naishchalyam, focus. Inner focus, inner cleansing, taking to a life of that, the culmination of that life, that kind of a disciplined life leads in two things. One is you become Bhagavad asakta manaha, means you are that whose mind is committed to knowing Bhagavan as yourself. And then madashrayah, Bhagavad ashrayah, you become surrendered to Bhagavan, because this Bhagavan, whose truth is Satchidananda, whose nature is myself as consciousness, and this Bhagavan is not going to disappoint if I place the surrender. Surrender means pursuit. Committed pursuit is called surrender. So when other things drop, create the space in my life, I take to this committed pursuit. And I will not be disappointed, because what is this pursuit? Me. Who is the pursuer? Me. What is the destination? Me. What is the road? Me. It's a very funny pursuit. Other pursuits, you have to chase after this, that or the other, all the other desired objects. But the most desirable thing in the whole world, the most desirable vastu, is the truth of you alone. That which is forever, that which does not decay, that which is of the nature of joy, ananda, unbridled ananda. That is what is the pursuit, no other pursuit. And in the second chapter we were told that if you pursue other things, bahushakhaha anantaha cha buddhayaha avyavasayinam. Avyavasayi means the one who is unable to commit. Some people are unable to commit. They are all over the place. One minute they say this, another minute they say no, not yet. Yes, I'll come. No, I won't come. Perhaps I will come maybe another day, and then they're not able to commit. And so that is a problem. Why? Because that person doesn't have what is called vyavasayatmika buddhihi. This buddhi is unable to commit to this pursuit. So therefore here in the 7th chapter, after 1/3 of the Bhagavad Gita is finished, Arjuna is being invited to recommit to this pursuit, but with a twist. Before recommitting to the pursuit was recommitting to the knowledge of the self. Here the knowledge of the self has been quietly changed, where the self has been quietly cut out and Bhagavan put in its place. Why? The self indeed is Bhagavan, but I have to know this Bhagavan. And so therefore, this is the outcome of this adhikaritvam, this preparation. And then he says, Shrinu, Mam Shrinu, Mam Shrinu, Mam yatha jnasyasi Shrinu. So you please listen to me and listen to how you are going to know me as yourself. How you are going to know me, listen to that also. Why? Because I will teach you totally. Samagram, I will teach you totally, where there is no samshaya left. Until you understand this fully, I will teach you. Without a doubt you will remain about what is my nature. And you will understand me without a shadow of doubt. This is how the chapter begins further. Jnanam teham savijnanam idam vakshyamya sheshatah yajñātvā neha bhūyonyat jñātavyam avishishyate manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidyatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tatvatah. So he says, Shrinu, listen. Listen to what? I'm going to tell you Jnanam. Te aham Jnanam vakshyami. I'm going to tell you what this knowledge of Bhagavan is all about. So this Jnanam is going to be given to you along with Vijnanam. Very interesting. Again, synonyms. Jnanam and Vijnanam are synonyms. This Jnanam is going to be given to you along with Vijnanam. So Jnanam, Vijnana Sahitam. So when there are two things which are similar sounding, like we encountered in the first class, what were those words? Two similar sounding words? Eshitam and Preshitam. Similar here. So Jnanam and Vijnanam. So we have to see that there are the different meanings. Jnanam is the knowledge of Bhagavan. One way to look at it, Jnanam is the knowledge of Bhagavan with attributes. What kind of attributes? Sarva Shaktiman, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent, Sarva Vyapi, Sarvajna, all these things. These are all attributes. That is called jnanam, we can say. Vijnanam is the knowledge of attribute-less Bhagavan, which is only myself. Attributes come and go, so they are not ultimately counted. So the attribute-less Bhagavan is called Vijnanam. The knowledge of attribute-less Bhagavan can be called Vijnanam, and the knowledge of Bhagavan with attributes is Jnanam. And what am I going to teach you? Both. I am going to teach you both. This is one way to look at it. We can also look at it another way, and the other way to look at it is to say Jnanam is the understanding of Vedanta Shastra as it is talked about, and then Vijnanam is the assimilation. Before you can understand everything that is there, but then Vijnanam means Sakshatkara. Sakshatkara means assimilating that as the truth of myself. In the beginning, one will say Brahma Asti. There is such a thing called Brahman. What is that? Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. There is such a Brahman which is Satyam, which is Jnanam, which is Anantam, which is infinite. And then that knowledge then immediately translates to Brahma Aham Asmi. Asti Brahma, Brahman is there. Asmi Brahma, there is a difference. Asmi Brahma means I am this Brahman. That is here called Vijnanam. We can take it that way also. So what does he say? Jnanam Vijnana Sahitam. So along with that, what happens? Asheshataha. Asheshataha means without any residue I am going to teach you. I am going to teach you all this. Jnanam and Vijnanam, the knowledge of the self along with the knowledge of Ishvara as the self, I am going to teach you, and then knowing which, yad jnatva na iha, in this world is not there. Bhuyaha, repeatedly again, nothing else remains to be known. Jnatavyam avashishyate. So there is nothing more to be known. Can you say that with any other pursuit? Whatever you pursue, any object that you pursue, in fact, the more you know, the more you don't know. Pujya Swamiji used to say, every knowledge is up to the next question. What is this? Now everybody is a jnani. What is this? Flower. Everybody knows. Everybody is a flower jnani. And then what is this? Another flower. Yes, we are all such experts. We may as well call ourselves, experts in botany. And then one more question. Why this flower is like this? And why this flower is like this? Huh? I don't know. If you are studying botany, you will have some ideas. This is so that the pollination can occur. The pollination happens differently for the, what is this called? Chrysanthemum. And then this looks like an orchid. For the orchid, this is different. All these things one can say. Then if you say that, then I can ask one more question. What is that question? But why is it like that? Then what's its name? The botanist has to say, I don't know. I don't know. Everything is like that. Everything in the Srishti, in the Jagat, is up to one more question. Up to one more question. Whatever you pursue cannot be fully pursued because the Jagat is infinite. Why? The Jagat has come from Satchidananda. Satchidananda is infinite. Bhagavan is infinite. So the same DNA is shared by the Jagat also. Jagat is infinite. Each thing in the Jagat is infinitely full of knowledge. Bhagavan's infinite knowledge is there in each and everything in the Jagat, manifest. So if you try to go into Vishesha Jnana, into each thing trying to know, one will always remain ignorant. That's why there are new PhDs. If everything was to be known, there won't be any more PhD possible to award. All the colleges, the universities have to shut down Because how can you award a PhD? Because everything that is to be known has been known, has become known. That's not true. More and more PhDs are awarded all the time. More and more PhDs are awarded. Why? Why are they awarded? Because they are this. Why are they awarded? They are awarded because the previous PhD thesis, whatever it said, is wrong. The new PhD thesis hits it out and says that assumption was wrong. Why? Because the knowledge is again updated. The knowledge is suddenly updated, more and more updated. That means I did not know properly. At that time, that's what one thought. In medical science, this is very common. They'll say, take this medicine, it's very good for health. 10 years later, oh my God, you're eating this? How come you're not dead already? You should have been dead long ago. Stop taking this medicine. Why? Because that was either erroneous knowledge or incomplete knowledge or knowledge that is wanting in nature, and so therefore every knowledge leaves you with a question. You can never say, Purnaham, I am fulfilled. You can never say. You can absolutely never say, I am complete, I am fulfilled. The study of this has filled me up. You can never say, because there is something more left. Even if you feel you know everything, somebody else will come and find out something else and then update that knowledge. What about this knowledge? No improvement is possible. What are you going to? You are everything, you are infinite. How are you going to improve that? Oh, I can say you are infinite plus one. Is that an improvement? No, it's not an improvement. Infinite and infinite plus one is not an improvement at all. So therefore, you are infinite is the whole. You are the whole. The whole means there are no more holes. It is the whole. There is nothing more than that. Nothing other than that. Nothing beyond that. Nothing less than that. It is everything. Moksha means the pursuit of yourself as Ishvara. That is moksha. And when this Ishvara is known as myself alone, there is nothing more left to pursue, because that wholeness which I sought in all other pursuits, I have finally gained in this pursuit. So, in the beginning, we start with 4 pursuits. What are they? Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. If I straight away choose moksha, if I have the emotional maturity to straight away choose moksha, then what will happen? Dharma, Artha, Kama are included. They come on their own. Why? Because it's included in the whole. In the whole, Dharma, Artha, Kama cannot be outside the whole. It's included. In the pursuit of the limitless, is limited included in the limitless or not? So it has to be included. So then all the limited finite pursuits are included in the limitless. If I pursue straight away the limitless, the limited comes along for free. Limited comes along for free. And then if I pursue each and every limited thing, is the limitless included in the limited? No. The other way around I cannot say. If I pursue finite ends, what will I get? The finite. If I pursue the infinite, the finite is included in the infinite. So there is nothing more to want, nothing more to get, nothing more to desire. Because that I lack, that feeling itself is gone. Where does desire arise from? The feeling I don't have, that is where the cause of the desire, the source of the desire is in the feeling that I lack, I want, I don't have, I have somehow been bypassed, somebody else has this, I don't have this. This is how the desire arises. Desire arises like this. But then this knowledge not only snuffs out all desires, because in and through every desire, what I want is what? What I want is to know the nature of the desirer. What I want is to stop being a wanting person. You can do some self-shodhanam. What is self-shodhanam? Self-enquiry, examination in this regard. What you want is to stop wanting altogether. It's tiring to keep wanting. Keep on wanting this, then that want is fulfilled. Another want, yet one more want. And so where will it stop? Only in the next life you think. And the next life also it doesn't stop. Everything is TBC, to be continued. This is what it is. The only want is to no longer want the wanting person as me, as my self-definition. That's the only want. If we are honest, that is really the only want. And that want is addressed by the pursuit called moksha, which is putting an end to all wants, not by deprivation, but by fulfillment. How is that fulfillment? Whatever you want, you already have. You are already the possessor of that which you really want. And what is it you want? To be forever. What you want is forever. That forever you already are. In the wake of this knowledge, there is nothing to want. Nothing at all to want. And therefore, this knowledge can be communicated fully, totally, and without any shesha, without any residue, because it is you, it is your nature. And when this nature is unfolded, there is nothing more to want, because all the wants are included in this alone. And so therefore, Bhagavan says, Jnatavyam anyat na avashishyate. There is nothing more to want after knowing me as yourself. And then, because I am going to teach you fully. Now, before he goes into the topic, verse number 3 is a stuti. Stuti means praise. Praise of this knowledge of Bhagavan. There is a praise, and this praise is like an appetizer. Appetizer means you shouldn't eat a full plate of it. You just have something at the end of a toothpick. Yeah, they will put little toothpicks on small baby idlis or something like that, and then you just dip one in some sauce that is given and you eat one, that's all. You don't say, I want a whole lot of them, and the whole appetizer plate you don't take and then start eating. Okay? The job of the appetizer is to say, oh, I want some more. I would like to have some more. So too, verse number 3 is, the purpose of verse number 3 is Shrotra Buddhi Prarochanartham. It's a mouthful, but Shrotra, the hearers, the listeners, Buddhi, the intellect of the listeners, Prarochanartham, is for the sake of increasing the appetite of the listeners. Like if you are in a nice concert, you feel like hearing more. Yes, keep it coming, more. Similarly here, the stuti of the Vidya offers a wonderful segue for me to want this knowledge more and more. This is how all the current capitalist advertisements have all come from Upanishads. This is how the Upanishad sells itself, and this is how all the product sales are also modeled after the Upanishad. Please buy this, you will be transformed. Please buy this, you will be changed. And so here the Upanishad was the original advertiser of this knowledge. So it says, what does it say? Let us chant this so we understand what it says. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschidyatati siddhaye yatatamaapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tatvatah. Yeah. So, Manushyanam sahasreshu, a very common expression, among thousands and thousands of people. Manushya means human beings, people. thousands and thousands of people, only one makes the correct effort. O Arjuna, one person makes the correct effort. Manushyanam sahasreshu, kaschit means one makes the correct efforts. Very few make the correct. One here should be taken as few. Very few will make the correct effort. And then yatatam api siddhanam means even those who are making the correct effort, only one comes to know me totally, tattvataha, fully, as Ishvara, as non-separate from you, from the person. That is the knowledge, and that is understood only with great difficulty. Why is this knowledge difficult? Knowledge is neither easy nor difficult. If you are ready for it, then it is very easy. If you are not ready for it, you feel like running away. That's what. Thousands of people. You just go outside of the ashram gate. And then there will be people eating that, what is that? Some kind of a thing. The whole thing is put in the mouth. Yeah. Golgappa, pani, something. Yeah. You see this. There is a way to eat it. And you have to put the whole thing in your, whole blessed thing has to go in your mouth. And then people are experts at that. And then they are all eating that and enjoying that and buying something next to that. Another stall will be there to buy something. People are doing that. And you tap them on the shoulder. Okay, today in the evening walk, you try doing this and say, you must come to the ashram. You must come and sit. And then what will happen? You will get moksha. What is moksha? You'll stop wanting. They'll say, shut up, I want to keep wanting. I don't want to stop wanting. Who are you to make me stop wanting? Some might say that. Some others might be saying, yeah, I'd like to come. Me too. I have been looking longingly at the Svatmavidyananda ashram and all the other ashrams. Wonder what goes on behind those gates. I'm also very much interested. Okay, come then. Come for class today, tomorrow. I'll take you myself. I'll make sure you have a place in the class where you can listen. No, This has been a wonderful conversation, but I have things to do, places to go, people to see. Sorry, very busy, very, very busy, very, very sorry. Let me continue to be a samsari. That's all it is. That's all it is. They will not come. Let's say you have some power and you threaten them, and you bring them here. Will they come? No. They will run away. They will come and then they will run away. Or you bribe them, you offer them money. And then what happens? Then also they will come, they will sit for the money, but they will say, even this is not worth the 100 rupees you offered. Yeah. Brahmacharis don't have lot of money, okay? Yeah. So that measly 100 rupees you offered, and it's a torture to sit here. What are they talking about? Jnanam, Vijnanam, what is this? What is this nonsense? And what is this? I don't want this. Keep your 100 rupees, open the door, let me go out of here. This is the problem. This is the problem, and then because this itself shows, it's an instant demonstration of what Bhagavan says, Sahasranam Manusheshu, among thousands and thousands of people. And you tell them, but see, we also have to take a contrast. You tell them, come to Gita class, they will say, no thank you. You tell them, there is a homa in our ashram, they will all show up. Why? Punya. Punya will come, and then the homa is for, say it is Chandi homa, for getting money and all these things. Goddess is going to be invoked. 10,000 people will come. You invite people to Gita class, 0 will come. This is how it is. We don't know this because we think we are jignasus, and then other people also are equally interested because I am interested. We make the mistake of thinking. We make the mistake of thinking, because I am interested in this, other people are also equally interested in this. This is not true. Not at all true. And then, therefore, what is happening is this, that the world is spinning, and then the people are spinning along with the world. All the desires are there, up front and center. They are dancing. They are making the people dance behind them. They are making the people dance behind them. The people follow the desires. The desires don't follow the people. People are following the desires. They are under the grip of something or the other that catches the fancy. And sometimes the fancy is caught by, oh, this must be important because important people are buying this. So I also want this. Some celebrity, film star is buying this. That means what? It must be good. Or many people are buying this. Therefore, it must be important. And so one also goes behind that. It is a sheep flock mentality. And in fact, the true rebel is the one who comes to Vedanta. It is a certain kind of an inner rebellion, really. The true rebel is the one who comes to Vedanta. And then what happens? So here, so rare is the person who makes the effort for moksha through Atmajnanam. And then what? There still, out of, let's say, thousands and thousands, crores of people are making the effort. And then what? Out of those people also, many drop out. Many drop out. Suddenly once the thought comes, I'm not getting anything by this knowledge. May that thought never come to all of you. That is my prayer. May that thought, I am not getting anything out of this course, may it never come to even as a accident in your mind. That is my prayer for all of you. Why? Because that thought comes and takes a hold of the mind, says, I'm not getting anything important here. And then the mind goes elsewhere. Then people start thinking many things. The food I have heard in another ashram is very good. Let me go there. Udhar jaake khayenge. Why? What's wrong with the food here? No, it's not the same thing. Dal, rice, sabji. What is there? Roti. No, not nice. Other place I have heard, very nice. Let me go there. And then I listen to whatever they are. Because it's not nice to go eat food every day without listening to what they are saying. So let me listen to what they are saying. So what takes you out of the course? What takes one out of the course of study? Course here, I'm not talking of this course. Course of study. What takes one out of the course of study? The commitment to study is what I'm meaning by course. Is what? Is the discourse of the stomach. The stomach has taken me away in this instance. Or something that shines brightly. Oh, the Swami somewhere who has come has many followers, therefore is famous, therefore must know much more than anybody else. Let me go there. Let me do this. Let me do that. So the mind strays and the mind just goes away. Or sometimes even there might be nothing replacing it, but the feeling is, if I go here, if I stay here, what will happen? Who will really get moksha? Seriously, you think in 3 months anybody can get moksha? So therefore what? Therefore I am out of here, let me not waste my time anymore. All these thoughts come. So even if people are making the right effort, Guru's grace is there, Guru is teaching, and then what else? Ishvara's grace is there. Ishvara has given the place for this pursuit to be furthered. Ishvara's grace is there. Guru's grace is there. And then Shastra, one is understanding very well. Shastra Kripa is there. Shastra's grace is there. Only one grace is missing. Atma Kripa. one's own blessing. One has to bless oneself to gain this knowledge. One has to bless oneself to gain this knowledge, and then that is what one has to bless. If that blessing is not there, I am blocking myself from gaining this knowledge. So therefore, I have to decide. And will I be here for as long as it takes? Here means a committed pursuit is what I am talking. Here, not in this room. Will I be in this pursuit in a committed way as long as it takes? Or will I follow so many people who have dropped out? The choice is very, very, very clear in this way. All right. Yeah, so we'll stop here for the time being. An announcement. So, if you can't be without your phone, either stay in the room with it or